What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 5 of Classless Bastards. I'm Brett Porter. Joining me today, of course, my best friend, my best man, my best decision in my life, Nick Bull.
I wouldn't go that far.
I wouldn't. But you guys can watch us, you can listen to us, you can love us if you want, anywhere that you guys go to watch, listen, or love things. And as of recent, we are now sponsored by Altered Apparel. If you need any kind of customizable things done, rec softball team, work shirts, you're celebrating your uncle being 1 year sober, like anything that you need, Altered Apparel can supply for you. So give them a call at the number listed on the shirt. That is 518-361-3621. That is 518-361-3621. Make your uncle proud. Make sure you tell him you care about his 1 year of sobriety.
And bring him a bottle from us.
With his own custom-made shirt. It's actually, so there are a lot of places that if you bring in your 1 year challenge coin from AA, they will let you drink all night for free to certain bars. And
that should, I'm not going to say that should be illegal. That's a step too far, I think. But I think people should consider that a problem.
Dude, who knows?
And I love my drinking.
Yeah, it's dude, I don't know. It makes you think, man. It's God, it's a fucking moral quandary because on one hand, kind of a scumbag move, but on the other hand, you're like, well, is it really
great money-making opportunity?
Is it illegal? No, there's no money to be made. They drink all night for free.
Oh,
but you know,
well, that's nice of them then.
Well, think about it like I don't know. Say you're just a lowly crack dealer, and perhaps someone's never tried the crack cocaine, and
first one's always free.
First one's always free because that's how it always gets started. I'm so happy we're sponsored now. The sponsored content really makes it a lot better. What you guys may
so much higher quality than it used to be.
Absolutely. What you guys may not be seeing, but definitely hearing is Piper. She's a little rambunctious little pup, but I love her. But yeah, dude, Memorial Day weekend just came and went. I don't know about you. I was pretty dang busy, pretty much the entire time.
You were working that merch booth, right?
Dude, running that merch booth, baby, selling a little bit of tie-dye for the soul, you know what I'm saying?
I heard you had a little bit of a famous quote this weekend before we had our barbecue.
Famous quote before we had the barbecue. Me?
Yeah, your fiance quoted you.
I don't remember.
You didn't remember or see this? You said, I met God, and I'm pretty sure he wears tie-dye. Or something something very close to that.
Yes. That was drugs, actually. That was brought on through something called drugs. Nothing illegal, just things I don't want to specify because it will turn into this weird rabbit hole about, the place of marijuana in society, things like that. But really, well, it was just oil, that marijuana oil.
Mostly just Tylenol.
2
melatonin.
Dude, we literally were going up to people and asking if they had Robitussin.
I'm trying to robo-trip.
Dude, I said robo-tripping probably 100 times over the weekend.
More than anybody should say, even if they're doing it.
Dude, we had so many people come to our merch booth. And we hit exactly the goal that we wanted for the weekend, so I'm very thankful for that. And we got to meet some cool people, and we got to fuck with some people too, which is great. And especially just having the CEO of our company ask a stranger if they have any Robitussin. Really just made me feel like
legendary.
Really just made me feel like I was in Fort Anne again. But it was a fun time. 2 days of just great music at the Charles Arwood Park in Lake George. Couldn't ask for better weather. Perhaps a little less hot, but I'll take it, dude. Summer's officially started. Memorial Meltdown went off pretty much without a hitch. It was super duper fun. Over the course of the weekend, I believe we had day one, we had Annie in the Water, followed by Giant Panda Gorilla Dub Squad, followed by Talk, T-A-U-K, and then Twiddle. Like Caulk, but with a T.
Ah, gotcha.
And then Twiddle. Day two, I believe, was One Time Weekend, which really surprised me. They were all over the fucking place in the best way possible. Then I believe after them was Mahali and Friends. Mahali is the guitar player and singer for Twiddle. Followed by that was Dogs in a Pile, always great, just a great, fun-loving band. And then Twiddle, of course, closed it out with 2 more sets. And it does seem like there's a possibility that this really is the end of their run. I wish them the best. It's unfortunate that I just started listening to them about 4 days ago, as of
my life.
As of the beginning of their first set. And people do tend to have some mixed reviews on them. I don't really. They're not someone I would go out of my way to see, but I'm glad they played in Lake George. I think that they are very good for that type of crowd. But yeah, other than that, dude.
So what's going on with them? Is the band splitting up, or?
I believe they're just calling it. I think they're. Because they've been around since, I think, like 2006 or 2007. Like,
That's a good amount of time, yeah.
They had their fun, dude. Like, they were...
I mean, that's no Rolling Stones, but...
Well, dude, for every Rolling Stones, there's one fucking, the Monkees,
Right.
They had that one song, and then they just kind of, like, fell into obscurity.
Whatever happened to the Animals? How about that?
Well, the Animals had that one song. That wasn't even their song. It was...
Is it Everybody Talks?
No, House of the Rising Sun.
There you go. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm thinking the Gorillaz. The Gorillaz actually now that I think about it, though, they had a decent amount of music.
Gorillaz...
I think they had a song called Animals or something.
If they did, I don't know about it. But... Fuck, dude. I'm really gonna be thinking about this for way too long. So, yeah, it's gonna hit me at some point, and until then,
yeah, we'll look it up.
It's just gonna haunt me. Yeah, right after. But I don't think that's Gorillaz, because Gorillaz are still making music. They pretty sure they had an album come out in like 2021. Like,
I just remember back in the day sitting in the hot tub. My mom, so this is 12 plus years ago now, and on the radio, it was super popular at the time. I think it was called Animals. Maybe not by the Gorillaz.
Big up, pup.
My next thought in my head was the Village People for some reason, and I also don't think it's the Village People.
Pretty sure they're dead. Pretty sure
they're the Cemetery People now.
They might actually be the Cemetery People now.
I love when I get a good clap and I got to go down to the. Wow, I can't even remember the name of it now. What's the place you go to? I mean,
Free Clinic.
Yeah, we'll call it that.
Planned Parenthood, whatever. Anyway, guys, sorry for that cut there. What I was getting at was, you guys have probably noticed that this is not our normal shooting location in the safety safe of our apartment. Instead, we're in Nick's dining room right now. It's actually, if you were to look at the entire setup, it's quite gnarly, but I mean, dude, it works. We have a kitchen like lamplight thing providing us with this intimate full spectrum lighting.
Which doesn't look bad, I have to say. At least looking at the preview.
Yeah, no, and I got to say, I don't hate it either. I think it'll be fine for this week. Well, I aim to remember things next time.
It could have gone better.
It could have. All things considered, this all could have gone a little better. But yeah, so we're using my phone, which shoots in 4K 60. Pretty dope. We're using a kitchen lamplight thing with some form of fancier full spectrum light.
And a clock.
Reminding us that the time of our Lord right now is of shooting 12:02 on a Wednesday. So I talked about my weekend enough. Well, at least the first half of it. Dude, Saturday, Sunday. How'd your Memorial Day weekend go? You do anything
I spent most of my weekend with your wife, actually.
Fiance.
Your fiance, yes.
Close enough.
Might as well be. Well, she was here at least Sunday and Monday. We did a garage sale those 2 days. Had a decent turnout. Made more money than I would have if I was sitting home doing nothing. Saturday, I just worked all day. So, I mean, basically a normal weekend for me, minus having the Monday off. I'm way too excited to leave for Vegas in 3 days. 3 days, 4 hours, 57 minutes. Not that I'm counting.
Oh, you guys are leaving on Saturday.
Saturday night, we have a 5 p.m. flight. We're getting in at midnight.
Getting into Vegas at midnight?
Yep.
Is it a direct flight?
No. Layover in Chicago, that's like an hour, I think.
It's not bad.
No.
Because anything less... I'm trying to think of... When Taylor and I went to Florida, I do remember us having some kind of a layover from...
Like in D.C. or something?
Dude, no, it was even dumber than that. From wherever we stayed in Florida to Trenton, New Jersey. No, to Newark, New Jersey, excuse me. And then connecting flight to Albany. It's like you are so close.
Well, Josh and Elisa, I think they're driving out to Boston and then flying from there, but we didn't want to have to leave a car there for the week.
Yeah.
And also drive 3 hours each way. Like our total time of layovers is right around 3 hours. So that's one way of driving that trip, you know. So it's like, and not having to keep the car down there. We'll have our parents bring us down. So
yeah, and that's not terrible by any capacity. It sounds like a more foolproof plan than we had, which is really just. Dude, I couldn't even tell you where we're flying out of. I mean, I assume it's Albany.
Probably Albany. Yeah.
Dude, God, you know, maybe I'm soaking it in a little too fast, but this whole, hey, I'm gonna marry this chick, like, is hitting already, and I just don't plan things, dude. Like,
neither do I. My only plan is not to plan things because it'll get ruined.
Yeah, it's not necessarily a bad mindset because I mean, yeah,
I think it can be a very useful quality to be able to fly by the seat of your pants.
I think for better and for worse, I think it's at the very least gotten me here.
Gotten me out of maybe some tough situations.
Better than a sharp stick in the eye.
Or somewhere else.
I came to this realization not too long ago that maybe I need to start planning things. I don't want to. I really don't. I hate it.
You could make Taylor do it.
I could make Taylor do it. And I think that might be where. I think that's where.
That's what I do.
So I think that's how the story's gonna end. Is I just do that and say, listen, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, and then have her put it into some kind of compact schedule. Like, dude, today right after we're done with this, I have to go to Kohl's, which Kohl's is one. Never step foot in a Kohl's, but I look at Kohl's the same way that people should look at Old Navy. And that's
a good point.
And that's unfavorably.
That's a good point. Yeah, way too many people are fanatics about Old Navy.
I think it's just a cultural.
If you want ill-fitting jeans and baggy shirts that look unflattering on anyone who wears them.
How do you feel about khakis? How do you feel about fanny packs? Not even the cool fanny packs that people sell drugs out of. The ones that just say Old Navy on them. The brand as a whole just is not an aesthetic that aligns with me. And I don't even remember what happened. Oh God, I did a kind of scumbag thing. My soon-to-be in-laws got me like a fuck ton of Old Navy clothing, which I returned for store credit on a gift card, which I then found a website that buys gift cards, and then I bought 1 ounce of silver. Like, that's literally it. I just went like, I did it the way people used to do it back in the day. I basically went through the closest thing to modern day barter. And I still like it better than anything Old Navy. Because Old Navy to me, dude, Old Navy is like, it's a personified version of like American mediocrity.
It's like if I were really wealthy and I wanted to fit in with the plebes of society,
I would wear Old Navy.
I would go into Old Navy, and I would probably leave disgusted at the sights that I saw.
Yeah. Oh God, this is how the other half lives.
Yep. This is how the 99% live.
Are you God, we need to like.
We need another plague.
Yeah, dude. I was saying we need to send another virus at him, see what happens. Dude, no, it's
allegedly.
I think although Old Navy gets the brunt of it from me, there's a lot of clothing stores like that I just fucking despise. Although, as I said, Old Navy.
I'm not a huge TJ Maxx fan, and they're better because at least they have a wider variety of like brands and stuff like that. But I walk in there and I'm angry. I'm instantly angry when I walk into stores like that.
TJ Maxx, I can deal with.
It's like Hobby Lobby. It's the same kind of feeling, but it's a
Hobby Lobby
store.
Blows, dude. That's something like I love. Prefacing this because Taylor watches all of these. I love my fiance to death. I would murder people for her probably.
In a Hobby Lobby.
If I could go the rest of my life without going to a fucking Hobby Lobby, I would be ecstatic. I don't get it, dude. I don't understand. Like, their entire business model is every 4 days, a different corner of the store becomes like fucking 77% off.
Plus all the texts they send you, the coupon texts, which you might not have even known about.
I hope they.
Dude, Taylor's getting a text right now. Deals at Hobby Lobby. She's like, I think I might stop after work today.
They're asking her. Right? They're asking her if she's up.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Question mark.
Hey there.
Where you at?
Dude, Taco Bell does that.
Yeah, but the thing
Taco
is,
Bell should do that.
that is very on brand for Taco Bell. Could you imagine Old Navy sending you a text at 3 in the morning?
Yeah, are you up?
I'm wearing my khakis and my ill-fitting jeans. You want to come over?
I'm already here.
Let's just say we'll take 100% off, if you know what I mean.
We'll take 100% off and put 90% in.
Yeah. Dude, that's the classiest sex joke we've had in this podcast.
I think it was not bad. Like I would use that.
Like
for
that's all
business.
dude, that's amazing because you juxtapose the 100% clothes coming off, and then you the punchline being 90% going in.
Everything but the tip.
Everything but.
I'm going in backwards. I'm backing that dump truck right in there.
That's how scuba divers do it. If doing it is jumping in the water. But
I was gonna say, how do they actually do it?
Man, I don't know. Do you remember that show Mansers?
Yes.
It always seemed
on right after 1,000 Ways to Die.
Yeah, of course. Spike TV had no reason to last as long as it did. It was just, it's almost like their entire demographic was just kids under the age of 15 who shouldn't be watching it, and then adults in their 40s and 50s who are in a loveless marriage who tune in right after the wife goes to bed just to get like that half hour or hour of just them time, just me time. Where it's like, oh, the world's largest army is located in your balls.
Yeah, right.
And like,
it's so true though. It's such lowbrow comedy that I feel like it almost like there's a middle period where like you almost can't enjoy it. Like you enjoy it at that like adolescent era, and then like when you're older and you have nothing else left.
Yeah, it's that or it's that or QVC.
Yeah.
And my credit
if you got
card.
on QVC, you're gonna be broke.
And my credit card's maxed out. I'm done with that.
I'm never turning QVC back on.
Never fuck QVC. I don't know. Maybe that's just the state of American television. As we know it, dude. I don't fucking know. It really just seems like dude. Once upon a time, any niche audience anywhere in the United States, very well had their own fucking cable network, their cable channel somewhere. Dude, they have one for people who love game shows. They have one for people who love...
Game Show Network.
They have one for people who love stocks.
They have one for black people.
They have BET.
They have one for white people. CNN.
Christ. But they do have a lot of... There's a lot of...
They have one for Latinos.
Telemundo.
They have one for Asians. They might not have one for
computer programming channel. I don't know, dude. Maybe I'm just bitter to it because I went to school for film, and this is the closest thing I have to like using a degree. Maybe I'm just irritated with the way television has become. Like,
that's why it's dying, dude.
I mean, yeah, that is definitely. I think so long as there's local news stations, there's always going to be your 6, 10, and 13. There's always going to be ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox. But aside from that, it just really seems like...
You know what's crazy is if there is even a way to get to them on any of my TVs in the house, I don't know how to. If I wanted to watch CBS, ABC, Fox, anything like that, I'm going to go and I'm going to stream it online. And I'm going to cast it to my TV because I don't even know how to get to regular TV on my TV.
You know, the crazy thing is if you were to say that to almost anyone else, because yeah, dude, any single one of your TVs, you could access pretty much anything that's available on the internet.
Right, they're all Roku or Fire powered.
Try and get network television. You can't do it. There is an entire generation of people who may have built this country who would classify you as retarded.
Well, not if they turn my TV on. I can go onto live channels, none of them come up. I don't have an antenna hooked up.
Oh, you gotta work.
I don't have a coax cable hooked up to the back of it because my coax cable's hooked to my router, so I can watch everything else that exists in the world besides 6, 10, and 13.
You could get,
and I can still watch 6, 10, and 13. I just have to stream it.
You could get those. I know Walmart has them, but it basically is just rabbit ears that plug into.
Yeah, or they have like the flat-looking antennas, like the square flat ones you can like.
Yeah, but
duct tape to a wall.
I don't like them when they're flat. I don't know. Just
either. I like them bodacious.
I want some bodacious TV.
I like my antennas pointy.
I want to make it look like it just came out of that meat freezer. You know?
The Theo Von conversation,
dude. Yeah. Oh, dude, I forgot Monday happened. So Saturday, Sunday, obviously, I'm running a merch booth at Memorial Meltdown in Lake George. Monday, completely fucking forgot. I told Taylor I'd come with her to the garage sale that our women were hosting, which, hey, I'm not complaining. I just woke up feeling like death. And then I did some drugs. And then I found a recliner for sale that never got sold because I was sleeping in it all fucking day.
Still for sale, by the way.
Still for sale. $10, I believe, was the price tag.
$10 if I'm out here standing in the driveway, and it's free if I'm not standing in the driveway.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Either way, I want it gone.
Yeah, it's liquidation now. We made our money. Everyone just go home. But yeah, so at some point between my sleeps on this couch, I had this idea. I was like, I'm going to give you like a thing, a phrase, or a sentence, or whatever, and I want you to say it like you're Theo Von.
Right, give an answer as if you're Theo
Von. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it came up because I said I had seen him on the Full Send podcast, which I think, for some reason, I feel like his mind goes even crazier places when it's someone else interviewing him rather than him interviewing somebody else. Because he's being asked more of the questions rather than asking. Yeah. So you're being forced to come up with that organic material all the time.
Yeah, and it seems like he is more compelled to dig to deeper parts of his mind.
So strange.
in more of a position to where he has to say the first thing that comes out. Which, I mean, hey.
Right, you don't want that. You don't want that silence. Radio, they said if you had more than 7 seconds of silence, right, it would cut you out. Didn't that used to be a thing, or maybe still a thing?
I don't know if that's true.
I've heard something like that. I think it was Shapiro that said something like that because most of his shows are on the radio. I think he said something about there has to be under a certain amount of time of silence, or something else could be put on.
That sounds more like a station by station thing. As opposed to like an FCC thing.
That makes sense.
Okay, and that's just like that's a save yourself, keep.
Right, you're floundering.
Yeah, exactly. Prevent the floundering from going on. Oh, excuse me. Thank God for the cough button. That probably didn't work very well. But, yeah. So, dude, we got to bring it back. And I kind of want to keep this as a thing for when we get guests, again, if that ever happens. So, do you want to be Theo first, or do you want to propose Theo first?
Oh, God. I'd rather propose it, because I might be bad again. All right, so.
I don't remember any of it. I just remember falling asleep right after.
Well, let's see. If I were going to ask Theo Von a question, the real Theo Von. What were a few events in your life, or perhaps just one, that you think made you act the way you do? And I don't say that in a bad way. Made you there's an E word that would fit into this.
There's an E word?
Yeah, I can't think of what it is.
Eccentric?
Maybe. That's close. It's not the one I was thinking of, I don't think, but it's there.
I don't... Fuck. So you're asking... So you were...
What happened in your life to create...
What happened to make Theo Von Theo Von?
Yeah. Maybe one or two events. I don't know.
Well, I mean, to be real, it all started with my father. He was 70 years old when he had me. His sex tape was almost artistic. It was a weird place I grew up in. When they get all excited, they throw rocks at people. People would yell, "Just get in there!" Whenever anything good was going on. And I don't know, maybe a couple of them rocks hit me. People thought I was one of them mentals, you know. Instead of calling the police if they saw me riding a bike in town. Really, I was just riding a bike so the bus would pick me up at a less poor neighborhood. I think along the way, a few people just, throwing rocks are so happy to see me. And that's why the doctors said that I beat...
It wasn't even a bad thing by the end.
Yeah, it wasn't even a bad thing. The doctor said I beat Down syndrome. That's the best I got.
Says I'm on my way up now.
That's the best I got. I feel like I was in my prime on Monday.
Dude, Monday we were killing it. My only good one was the semen-powered rocket. But besides,
I forget the context of that.
I have no idea.
I think it was.
I don't even know what the lead-up was.
Going to the moon. Going to the moon.
Oh, how do you think we'll get back to the moon?
No, maybe? How would we get back to the moon? I don't remember. Dude, yeah, that was pristine.
It ended with a semen-powered rocket.
It did end with the phrase semen-powered rocket. It was great. I wish that we were on our better performance for that because, I don't know, it's kind of like when you freestyle, back in the day when we'd actually freestyle over beats while we were uncomfortably high. You really always did your best work when no one was in any position to even record you.
I did my best work in my head when I didn't say it out loud and there was no proof of it. Really good. Really good rapper.
6 out of 10. Would recommend.
I forgot to ask you, when are you guys getting into Vegas?
We're going in Sunday. What time? I have no idea. I know we're gonna make it in time for Josh and Lisa's cocktail soiree.
Is that on Sunday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I will say it is kind of a shame because, for one, I did not put anywhere near enough money aside to really do Vegas the way I wanted to do Vegas, which was almost die.
Hookers and cocaine.
I was actually, one of the last things Taylor and I talked about in regards to this Vegas trip was that you and I were not to be left alone.
Who made that rule?
That was probably Taylor.
Oh, just Taylor?
What I would really like for us to be left alone.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's,
at least for a couple hours.
Yeah, just enough that we could get into some just a little bit of mischief. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, maybe get a butterfly tattooed on my ankle or something.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get a blowjob from a fucking escort on the strip.
Yeah, unless he's cute,
If he's cute, we'll have a conversation. Maybe I'll buy him a coffee. Maybe I'll write him letters from time to time and think about what my life could have been.
He could be my dear John.
He could have been my dear John. But he's not going to be Blowjob John. That's just weird.
Blo'jón.
Blowjohn.
Blo'jón, Mr. Jobs.
Something like that. Sure. These are all words.
I think he created the iPhone.
Steve Jobs.
I didn't say Steve.
What did you say? Blowjobs?
Blo'jón.
Blowjobs.
Mr. Jobs.
Blowjohns.
Blowjón's Jobs.
Blowjohn's Jobs.
Might have created the U-phone.
It was actually just... It wasn't really... The phone design was very... What's the word?
Cylindrical.
Innovative.
Oh.
So what happened is the earpiece was cylindrical, but the rest of the phone had a hole in it. It was about...
The mouthpiece was mushroom-shaped?
The mouthpiece was mushroom-shaped. Every time you talk on the phone, it would just give you $2 or $3 in change.
But it would spit them right out of the phone into your mouth.
Yeah. They'd be covered.
Swallow it!
They'd be covered in some kind of sticky substance, but they never really specify what.
Don't worry, it's just gum that was stuck to the change. I mean...
Gum with a C, baby. Some of that love juice,
Some of that good love, man.
Some of that love juice. Mm-hmm. That's serious. Dude, if I could spend a day just trying to figure out what the hell Theo Von is.
Didn't he say that he believed in the... He's like, I believe in them lizard people, man. in the government?
He did say that. He said it a few times. I don't remember any of the exact context, but I do know that is something he's brought up. I've enjoyed it. Like, I love his... I think he's one of those people where his stand-up is great, but I think he's just, in conversation, is just a funny motherfucker.
He's naturally funny, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, whether he's saying it to be funny or not to be funny, it just is.
Like, he's... I'm trying to think. What was the first thing I ever watched about him? I think it was Joey Diaz's podcast.
Where that was the first time you saw him?
Yeah, and I think they were all at that point just like tripping on mushrooms pretty hard. And the producer, Lee Syatt, is like just zonked out in the chair. And Theo, in an effort to save the podcast, like they all got up to like check in on him. Theo fucking runs back, puts his headphones back on, and starts telling a story of how he got electrocuted by a carnival ride. It's like this man's built different, and he
definitely is.
And he's got a dude, and he punched like when Chappelle's last special came out. There was a lot of like references to him, like quote unquote punching down on certain classes of people. Theo doesn't punch up or punch down. Theo is just kind of one of those people, like, in a mosh pit, the kind of guy who's just flailing his fists in a circle. And sometimes...
He's like, I didn't even see anybody else man.
Sometimes he connects. And
he apologizes to everybody after it's over.
And then does it again.
Yeah.
It's like he's just really excited to be going to his first Cannibal Corpse concert. And he heard there was a song called I Come Blood, and he was like, all right. Got my attention.
I could get into that, yeah.
But
I could fix that.
You gonna be good this time, or are you gonna bark?
Chances are not.
Chances are not.
Not to the good part. Yes, to the bark part.
Describe Piper to those who don't know Piper.
Well, if you've ever played the game Sly Cooper from the PlayStation 2 era, she's kind of like an uglier version of Sly Cooper that never stops barking or ruining your life. No, it's not that bad. She's pretty cute. But she's rambunctious. Quite rambunctious.
Yeah, I think that's the word.
And she is also in high need of attention constantly.
Yeah. Which in a household with 3 dogs, it does make for some interesting shit going on. Always fun. Never a dull moment. She is adorable when she wants to be. And the other time, she's just a fucking sack of shit.
Yeah. The other half of your life, she just ruins, so.
Yeah. Oh, God. Wasn't that a great thing that we just talked about? That
I've never done or said a greater thing in my entire life.
Dude, I haven't had this much fun since the last time that we had to cut for some reason.
Since the last time we said that really funny thing that turned into an awesome memory for us and for the audience.
And for everybody involved, and it was purely enjoyable. And
wholesome.
The guy got the girl at the end. At the end, they all realized that they were just a jock, a brain, a beauty, a reject, and a basket case.
Are we going to have to redo all the explosion scenes?
Dude, fuck. Michael Bay just left. Paint the picture with your mind, guys. It was great. It was a fun time. You guys missed so many things. And now you have to settle for this. No, really what happened is that this piece of equipment I bought, the Zoom Pod 4. Now, normally in ideal situation land, I use this and I shoot with everything set up to my laptop and do one contiguous thing, so I don't have to sync audio, do much in the way of editing and post-production, and can send Frankie a finished product with plenty of time to spare. Unfortunately, well, that was not the case for any of this, and instead, here we are. But, I mean, that's life. Things could always...
Does it really get any better than this? Sometimes. Sometimes it's better than this.
Fucking hope so. Dude. I was hoping by now that I would at least have one of those, like... I don't know. I always thought Howard Stern had a cool studio, and that's not just because he got to see titties and ask like, women about their rough home lives.
But that did help.
It did help. Helped a lot, actually.
It's the only reason I watched.
That and the articles.
Same reason you subscribe to Playboy?
Yeah, like and when they do like the photo galleria for like certain stories, they will normally have some nice like like bedroom shots, and I like to see the color scheme. My big thing is I like to make sure curtains match the rest of the room's interior design and that aesthetic, which more often than not they do. And then if at any point that gets a little too crazy for me, then I like to watch girls get railed in the ass.
That also works.
I tried so hard to sell that.
Hey, entertainment is entertainment.
It is.
And certain people see it in different lights, different contexts, different angles.
Different positions.
Different positions, perhaps.
I mean, yeah. Different languages, different
lengths.
Different
heights. Widths.
Crevices.
Wisdoms. Crevices.
Decks.
Crevasses.
Dex, strength, con. I don't know. Whatever D&D subclasses.
Sine, cosine, tangents.
A squared, B squared, cunt squared. Something like that. I don't know.
Pi r squared.
I promise you, I'm not a virgin. I have done the sex at least once.
I'm not a virgin, but I would love to be.
I wouldn't mind it. I mean, no. Like I give people props who can abstain from sex until marriage, but I feel like if you don't have a sexual chemistry with your partner, that's a very rough hurdle to get over, especially if that's someone you're going to spend the rest of your existence with.
I would agree in most situations. However, for some reason, arranged marriages are one of the marriages that stay together the most. Now, you could say that's because of family pressure and all that kind of shit. They're like, we set this up for you. Now you're going to ruin our lives too. But also, I think part of that is like you just get put into this mindset where you're like, okay, regardless, this is my partner, this is my person that's going to be there regardless, you know. So it could have some helping effects that way, but there could be a lot of resentment if they got a tiny penis.
Yeah. Could be a lot of resentment if you got some pancake titties.
Some big old baloney ass titties.
Dude, I remember for way too long in my life, referring to the size of a woman's nipples was an insult.
Yeah.
And it was never...
Dinner plates.
Dinner plates, pancakes, $50. Didn't matter what it was.
Unless they were the tiny little pink ones, it was always an insult.
Basically, yeah. It's like, God, could you imagine if they like talked about our dicks that way?
They do.
We
just don't know.
Yeah, probably.
They don't know probably a lot of them don't know we call them dinner plates or or
they don't know we call them $50 nipples. Them loose change nipples.
Loose change.
Just fucking sagging around.
Them Hanes socks full of change ass titties.
I've never put change in a Hanes sock.
You never done that and then like beat a guy to death with it?
No. You use soap.
If you don't want to leave marks, yeah.
No, you use soap because that's a very readily available thing in the prison system.
That makes sense.
Which is why...
But I'm not in prison. This is what I do on the street. That's how I get back my money.
God, dude. The streets as you live in the most suburban area of Hudson Falls.
Dude, there are robberies in this town multiple times a week. It's not as good of an area as it used to be. Even though I know we used to think of Hudson Falls as the pinnacle of upstate New York,
dude,
but
Hudson Falls
it's gone downhill.
Hudson Falls, New York was once the gold standard of where not to live in Washington County.
It was once the bright shining North Star of Fort Edward. No longer.
It was once. It was once the town over from the greatest town in Washington County, Fort Edward, the only one with a Pizza Hut with a drive-through.
That's true.
And now it's a shell of its former self. There are robberies more than once a week. You have a weird neighbor who puts cryptic messages on his house
and waves guns around at our podcast guest.
Yeah.
Well, our podcast guest's wife, perhaps, allegedly.
Girlfriend. I think it's girlfriend.
Assumed girlfriend, perhaps.
Precisely.
I'm thinking of another word. I'm trying to think of another word besides perhaps and allegedly.
Perhaps.
So they say.
So so they say it'd probably work. His girlfriend, so they say, having a gun waved around in the general direction.
That allegedly wasn't hers.
That perhaps wasn't hers, so they say.
That perhaps didn't commit murders.
So I will say, or is it hearsay? Of all of the games to come out of our youth, I don't understand why the penis game got so much attention.
Oh, it's fun. Especially, it was fun in school because of the threat of getting in trouble. Like now we could walk down the road and just yell penis and nobody could say anything. But sitting in a room full of just 20 people, that's like the size, a little bit bigger than my living room here, and just yelling penis at the top of your lungs. Or trying to say it without emphasizing the P, just so that penis comes out and you, I sneezed, you know.
Were you in Ms. Ryan's bio class in 9th grade with Greg Briel, amongst other celebrities?
I think I was in the other one with dude. I had Kyle Wilcox in mine.
I'm pretty sure I had Kyle Wilcox in mine.
Oh, maybe
Kyle
we were in the
Wilcox,
same
Pete
one.
Fusco.
Kyle got kicked out for drinking a Four Loko in the morning in the morning before school.
Forgot about that. So at some point, our teacher, Ms. Ryan, who I haven't heard from in a while, I hope you're still doing good out there, Ms. Ryan. It's been like 10 years. I hope you're still teaching somewhere and having fun. But I remember I witnessed a penis game go on between Greg Briel and, God rest his soul, Pete Fusco. Ms. Ryan was like leaving just to make some fucking copies. And they were getting like blue and purple in the face, like screaming penis as loud as humanly imaginable.
I do remember that, actually.
And I remember her busting through the door. You all have detention right now. And Greg and Pete are like, no, that was us. We did that. That was just us. Who did it? It's like, no, you're
missing the point here.
You're literally missing the only point we have to make. So my proposal is, at the current state of America right now, I don't think saying the penis game is really fun anymore. I think it needs to be upped to the I have a gun game.
Like the bomb in an airport game?
The bomb in an airport game, the fire in a theater game, the I don't know.
The yelling rape in a battered women's shelter game.
No one wins. No one wins any of these games.
That is terrible.
That was.
Forget I existed for that.
God. Dude, where's your fucking filter? We have Sean Beers on for one podcast that'll never make it to air.
I know. That I think that was my first bad word that I've said so far in 3, 4, 5 episodes, though.
I think you've been very reserved. I'm quite surprised.
If anything, though, I was talking against doing that because I would never, obviously, I wouldn't even.
But did you play the penis game?
Oh, for sure, of course.
The
natural stages of progression.
Yeah.
I would have to say it. Now I feel like we have to go right now.
Dude, if the penis game is Charmander, the battered women's shelter
is Charizard EX.
It's Charizard EX.
Mega Evolution.
With like 7 energy cards on it. Because there's no right way to say that doesn't involve you like sprinting out of there while you're being chased by a bunch of women in a rough place.
You can't look like a good person. Okay, now that I say that, though, here's a scenario. If it's actually happening, then you're a hero.
Okay, sure. Just be careful. You're shaking the table.
It's the same thing with yelling bomb in an airport. You are the problem unless it's actually happening.
Yeah. Which I mean,
shouting fire in a crowded theater, which isn't illegal, by the way, so give it a try. If there's a fire, only if there's a fire.
Thank you for prefacing that. Classless Bastards does not endorse degeneracy of that kind. We prefer like the drinking in the woods and screaming at people from afar kind of degeneracy, not things that may actually put your life in danger, but things that just make it feel like your life's in danger.
Right, it's like you yell fire in the woods after you drop a lit match.
Right. Perhaps, sure. Maybe that whole match does God's work.
I'm talking like controlled fires, trying to save the environment.
Right, or the crowd from having to watch the 10th Fast and Furious movie.
Exactly. I'm just trying to save lives here. That's all.
That's really all we're trying to do. Dude, Fast and Furious 10 just came out. At what point does the world, as a movie-watching audience, all just stand up and say, this is fucking ridiculous?
I think we've gone fast enough.
I think
we're furious enough.
I think people aren't furious enough at how many Fast movies exist in the fucking franchise now. After, like, Tokyo Drift, did they really need to make 7 more?
No.
I think
Tokyo Drift could have been the end.
It could have. Because, dude, it's ridiculous. They do underground street racing. And then it's like, oh, no, they're doing paramilitary operations in South America. They're robbing the Federal Reserve. Oh, no, they're assassinating a fucking major political figure. Oh, no, they're actually trying to figure out whether or not this person exists. Oh, my God, no. Even crazier, they're trying to fucking find this guy's daughter who has no paper trail. Why did I have to go so far removed from
Why would it be these street racers doing all of those things? Not like paramilitary or spec ops
or government officials or Dude, it's kind of like, you ever watch Armageddon?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, they got all these oil drillers up there and they're like, you're going to be the greatest astronauts to have ever lived.
You guys are going to go to space. And they never let them know they're coming back. Because at no point does the phrase, you're coming back, really become part of the conversation.
Actually, at one point it really does. When he's talking to his daughter, and he said specifically, I'm coming back.
And then he
didn't.
That's called lying.
Liar!
And lying to your children is only okay for things like Santa Claus, the Tooth Fairy, and
telling them their father's coming back from the store.
And telling them their father's
coming
milk. And a pack of cigarettes. Still, one of my favorite Instagram posts I've ever seen was your Father's Day post.
Dude, it was a great one.
Could you recreate that scene? I'll read the description. I will give the description. Me and my dad on Father's Day, #08. He'll be right back.
He was here a minute ago, I swear.
He's grabbing cigarettes in the sky now. It's okay. It's a very morbid thing to just joke about.
Yeah, definitely is. It's the way of life, man.
Yeah. I really hope that when I go that I don't want to be shit on where everyone's like, oh, I was a bad person. Because, I mean, granted, it's subjective. But I still want to be fucked with, you know? I'd be upset.
Yeah, dig me up, plow me out.
Dude, yeah.
Plow me back in.
Dude, fucking spit on your hand, grease my fucking wheel a little, bud, you know? Give me a little bit of reach around for the underdark.
That's all you need.
Do you really need anything else in this world? Other than a good hand job after you've been...
Bowl of cereal, maybe.
When's the last time you got a hand job?
And didn't say, no, that's okay. Never.
Really?
No time that I said, no, it's fine. I can do it better myself.
I mean, yeah.
It's began, but then it's ended quickly after.
Well, as a wise man once said, the best hand job starts with the mouth. No, I feel like that's not something you see a lot anymore. I think you see a little bit of stroking in the world of pornography and in the world of just being in a committed relationship. But I feel like you don't see a lot of hand jobs anymore. Big shortage of hand jobs going on.
I don't know if that's one of our biggest problems.
I think that if more members of the United States, I'm not saying every day, I'm not even saying every week, but if hand jobs were thrown into the mix of things on the possible sexual agenda, I think a lot less people would be miserable. And I think a lot more women would have some killer forearms.
I think well, you're right on the forearms.
Yeah.
But I think in general, I think you'd have a lot more irritated women. Or you'd have a lot more, irritated women. And I think you'd have a lot more displeased men.
You really don't like hand jobs, do you?
It's like, don't send a woman to do a man's job. And that's not misogynistic. There's plenty of jobs that women can do better than men.
Hand jobs are just not one of them.
They're not one of them.
When women needed help the most, they had to rely on Blo'jón jobs.
Blo'jón jobs.
If it weren't for Blo'jón jobs, there would be no iPhone, and there would probably also be no blowjobs. He dropped the John. He dropped the John for publicity purposes.
But he picked it right back up with a firm grip.
Yep. A firm grip he got because he did not get enough hand jobs in his life.
A lot of anger.
Maybe I'm just old fashioned. Maybe I have low standards, whatever. I appreciate a good hand job. Like I've never been bothered.
I usually get softer as the hand job progresses.
I think my problem is that I can tell about 20 seconds into a hand job whether or not I'm going to come. And sometimes it's just like...
Don't even waste your time.
It's like you want to be respectful. You want to say, hey, listen, I appreciate this. Thank you. I'm so happy that we're having this one-sided sexual escapade. And that if I'm lucky, you're going to let me blow it in your hair after. Or your mouth or on the end of your fucking comforter. But I don't know. I've always appreciated a good hand job. If I know it's going to go to the distance, I'm content. You can lay back. It's really a time where you can really just lay back and not worry about anything. Because compared to a blowjob, if someone's mouth has engulfed your penis, I feel like there's a lot more crazy things that could happen where, I don't know, maybe you say the wrong thing, maybe partner turns crazy. But I feel like...
I'll bite it off.
Bite it clean off. Whereas with a hand job...
Yeah, they're not going to rip that thing off. Dude, trust me, I've tried.
Dude, who hasn't? Like, dude, I mean, anyone who has grown up in, I don't know, the age of the internet, who had a phone with internet and had porn that was available on the internet, has probably spent at least 2 or 3 days of their life beating their fucking cock like it owes them money. And it doesn't rip off. Bring in the blowj, though. Dude, I feel like a blowjob.
That's a clean slice.
That could be a very clean slice, especially if they have... Well, you had braces. Mm-hmm. Do you still have retainers?
Yeah, I have one permanent retainer on the bottom.
Oh. Dude, so now imagine you have, like, let's say I was gay and I was sucking a dick. Dude, right. I have top and bottom.
Not very hard to imagine.
I have top and bottom retainers, dude. Like, I could...
Oh, you'd be digging it up.
Dude, I could be digging it up. I really could be. I could be fucking Lorena Bobbiting somebody. Which
I don't even get the reference.
Lorena Bobbitt. I don't remember if Lorena Bobbitt bit the guy's dick off or sliced the guy's dick off. Something involving a man losing his dick. I don't remember. What I do remember is that my cousin Dave formed me a team for trivia one of these nights at Sully's East, which I'm the permanent host now. Check that out. 7 o'clock on Mondays, you know. Doing it on the patio, maybe. I hope not. I fucking hate that patio. But so they were playing trivia, and Dave's rule of thumb with a team name is he uses the team name until he loses, and then he goes back to the drawing board. And there's this woman, Lauren Boebert, or Boebert, B-O-B.
Boebert, yeah.
He named his team Lauren Boebert's OnlyFans page. And I was like, that's a great name.
She's not bad looking.
So I was like, I love this. I know it's topical humor. I am going to completely ignore it and just read it as Lorena Bobbitt's OnlyFans page. And, I mean, I think it worked. I think that it was well received. I think people thought it was delightfully dumb and ridiculous. But, I don't know. Just, whenever I think of Lorena Bobbitt, I have to think of Lauren Boebert. So either way, that whole situation ended with the man losing his penis. It's really what the moral of that story was. So yeah,
it's terrible. I think that might be a good one to cut her on. Not Lauren Boebert.
No. I think the penis is the worst place to cut. But that's okay. Because this was fun. It was nice to experiment with a new setup. At the very least, we got to figure out how to improvise, adapt, overcome, deal with dogs. Dogs, they did one thing.
It could have been much worse.
Like, all things considered, absolutely. I am okay with how I think this is going to turn out. And obviously, if you guys at home don't ever see this, that means I fucking hated it, and we did something else. Brett's phone exploded.
Camera didn't record, audio didn't record.
Everything
went wrong all at the same time.
So yeah. Well, until next time, guys, thank you for tuning in. And of course, I just have to say it one more time. If you or a loved one is looking to support your uncle who's 1 year sober, you, of course, hit up Altered Apparel at 518-361-3621. That is 518-361-3621. We're going to be partying with him in Vegas, and we are going to ask him for a bunch of weird custom stuff. Because I have had a lot of ideas for things I should make it on shirts, and he's the man to do it. Homeboy loves what he does, cuts us some good deals. He is the official shirt provider for Mirth Films ventures going forward, including these snazzy-ass, like, entry-level NASCAR shirts that we're hoping to get some more things on.
Oh, heck yeah.
And with the power of sublimation, not pressing, but sublimation, we theoretically could bring these to him and be like, hey, we sold more sponsorship.
Oh, for sure. Patch it up.
Yeah. So, until next time, guys, thank you for tuning in to episode 5 of Classless Bastards. And remember, if you forget anything, if you forget everything, anything, something,
don't make it this.
Don't make it this. But instead make it this. Drink until they're pretty.